shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
What will be ere the set of sun?
And where the plains?
Upon the beach.
There to meet with Macbeth!
I come for mountain. Ooh.
Cabin calls.
I'm on.
Oh. Fair is foul and foul is fair.
Hover through fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report as seemeth by his plight from the revolt of new estates.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hearty soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the royalist thou didst lead.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their arm. Brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name. Disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smote with bloody execution, like valor's minion, carved out his passage till he faced the enemy, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Oh, valiant cousin!
And whence the sun begins its reflection, shipwrecking storms and direful thunders break. So from that spring when comfort seems to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark. No sooner justice had, with valor armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage with furbished arms, and new supplies of men began a fresh assault.
Dismay not as our captains, Macbeth and Banquo.
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, with a hair of the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons, overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. Except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha, I cannot tell. And I am faint, my gashes cry for help.
So will thy work be company as thy wounds. They smack upon our boat. Go get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy fate of Ross.
What a haste was through his eyes. So should he look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Rise, worthy fate.
From Fife, great king. Where the Norwegian banners do flout the sky and fan our people cold. Where the King of Norway himself, with terrible numbers, along with that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, did ruin a plan. Then General Macbeth, lapped in proof, did come forward and combat with his comparisons. Point against point rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness.
And Norway's king desires composition, but will he not deign him burial of his men until he retreated, and paid us $10,000 for the general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
It shall be done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
chestnuts in her lap, and munched, and munched, and munched. Give me, quoth I, a filthy witch, the rump that Runyon cries. Her husband, to Aleppo's gone, master of the tiger, but in a sieve I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do what I'll do.
Oh, I'll give thee a wind.
Thou art kind.
And I another.
I myself have all the other, and all the winds that blow, and all the quarters that they go in the shipman's car.
I will drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid.
Weary said nights, 9 times 9 shall be dwindled Dugan pine. Though his bark may not be lost, yet it shall be kept as sauce. Oh, show me.
Here, I have a pilot's son.
Oh.
Somewhere here.
A drum, Macbeth come.
Here, sisters hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus we go
about,
Thrice to thine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up mine.
Peace.
The charm's wound up.
So foul and fair day I have not seen.
How far is it called to home? What are these so withered and so wild in attire that they look not like the inhabitants of the earth, yet are on it?
Live you? Or you want that man-made question?
You seem to understand me. For ancient once her chappy finger lying upon her skinny lips. You should be women. Get your beards forbid me to observe you are so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glass.
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start? Seem to fear things that sound so fair. In the name of truth, are you fantastical? With that deed which you outwardly show. To my friend you greet with pleasant grace, and a great prediction of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems wrapped withal. To me you speak not. If you can see into the seeds of time, and tell which grains will grow and which will not, then speak to me, who neither fear nor beg your favor nor your hate.
Hail.
Hail.
Hail to Banquo. Lesser than Macbeth.
Not so happy yet. Much happier.
Thou shalt get kings though thou be none. So, all hail Macbeth.
Banquo and Macbeth. All hail.
Stay. You be perfect speakers. Tell me more. By my father's death I know I am Thane of Glass, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heat you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you.
The earth has water like water has. And these are them.
And the air, and what seemed corporal melted his breath into the wind.
Things such as we speak about. Where have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
Thane of Cawdor too, we did not so.
To the self-same tune and word. Who's here?
The king has happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads of thy ventures in the fight, his wonders and his praises do contend as to whether they are his or thine. They're silenced with that. We find you the same day in the stiff Norwegian ranks. Nothing afeard of the images that it make, strange images of death. Thick as hail, come post with post. And with that news delivered, they rejoice to spread the word to the king.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And for earnest of a greater reward, I have been asked from him to name you Thane of Cawdor.
What? The devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes? The man who was Thane lives yet. But their heavy judgment bears that light which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with some hidden help and advantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wreck, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him. Glamis, and Thane of Cawdor, the greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings? When those who gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them.
That entrusted home might yet enkindle you to the Dugan, besides the Thane of Cawdor. It is strange, for often to win us our harm, the instruments of darkness often tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, betray us with deepest consequences. Cousins, a word I pray.
Two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial people. I thank you, gentlemen. It cannot be ill. It cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success and commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock in my ribs against the use of nature? My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partners wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir.
New horrors fall upon him, like our strange garments, clinging not to mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure. Give me your favor.
My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. The kind gentlemen, your pains are registered wherever I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think about what that chanced, and at more time, that interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very glad to.
Till then, come friends.
This execution done, Cawdor. Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. But I spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied in his death. To throw away the dearest thing he owed as 'twere a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me. Thou art so far before, that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would thou hadst less deserved, that the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more is thy due, more than all can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe, in doing it, pays itself. Your highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and state. Children and servants, which do what they should by doing everything safe toward your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, thou hast no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My bounteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, things, and you whose places are the nearest, no, we will establish our estate upon our eldest Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. Which honor must not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers. From hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor, which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly, take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
Prince of Cawdor, that is a step on which I must fall down or else overleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. So the eye wink at the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
True worthy Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care has gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I've learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came misses from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with, Hail, king that shall be! This have I thought to deliver, good to deliver thee, my dearest partner in greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dews of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Oh, belongs thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet, I do fear thy nature is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, are not without ambition, just without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou wholly. It's not play false, and yet you strongly win. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits into thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What are your tidings?
The king comes tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who, were it so, would have informed for preparation?
I'm so pleased you, madam, it is true. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost scarcely deaf for breath, had reason to make up his message.
Give him 10 days. He brings great news. The raven himself throws horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Dugan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe-top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shall shape my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substance you await on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall me in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the darkness of the blanket to cry, hold, hold. Great wrongs, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, comes tonight.
Oh, and when goes hence?
Tomorrow. Does he purposes?
Oh, ne'er shall sunlight morrow see. Oh, your face, my thing. This is a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the good, look like the good. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent in it. He whose coming must be provided for, and you shall leave this night's great business into my dispatch, where to all our nights and days to come, give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up fear, clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
So the verdant fields are signs of how blessed I think Macbeth is. He is
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
Oh, that depths of summer. The temple haunting martlet does approve. For the most green and hot I have observed, the air is delicate.
See our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometime is our trouble, which still we thank as love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God heal us for your pains, and thank us for your trouble.
All our service in every point done twice and then done double. We're poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house. Those of old and the late dignities heaped up to them, we remain your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath holp him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs and come, to make audit at your highness' pleasure, all to remain your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We know them highly, and will continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done, when it were done, we're done, and 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, will jump the like to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we could teach bloody instruction, which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poison chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman, and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Dugan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. Pity, like a naked newborn babe, striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, the tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick side to my intent, but only vaulting ambition which overleaps itself and falls on the other. How now, news?
It's almost up. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not. He has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale upon what it did so freely? From this time, such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and yet be a coward in thine own esteem? Letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat of the adage?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
Who was the beast then that made you break this enterprise to me? When durst you do it, then you were the man. Be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then appear, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and their fitness now does unmake you. I have given self, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was looking up in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn, as you have done to this.
If we should fail,
Then we fail. Put your courage to the sticking place, and we will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, wheretofore his day's hard journey will soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I, with wine and wassail, so convinced that memory, the warder of the brain, is but a few, and receipt of reason a limbeck only. When, in their swinish sleep, they lie drenched as if in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall take the guilt for our great well?
bring forth men, children, only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chambers, and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, when we shall grief and clamor roar upon his death?
So, bend up each corporal agent to this terrible fate. Away, in mock the time, fairest show. False face must hide, the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I think it's his leader, sir.
Hold. Take my weapon. There's husbandry in heaven. The candles are all out. Take thee that too. Great summons lies heavy on, like lead upon me, yet I will not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my weapon. Who's here?
A friend.
My lord not yet rest. The king's of bed. He's been an unusual pleasure and has sent forth a great largess to your offices. Your wifey greets with all. By calling the name most kind hostess. Shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became a servant to defect, which else should free of rot.
All's well. Last night I dreamt of the three sisters. To you they've shown some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
You shall cleave to my consent when it is, shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to amend it. but still keep my bosom franchised and my allegiance clear. I shall be counseled to repose the while. Thanks, sir. The likes to you.
Go. Bid thy mistress, when my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat of oppressive brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as that which now I draw. Thou marshals me the way that I was going. Such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dungeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, over the one-half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Thou sure and firm-set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear that very stones prate of my whereabout. And take the present whore from the time, which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives, words to the heat of deeds, true cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Made them drunk, has made me bold. What has quenched them hath given me fire. Hark, peace. 'Twas the owl that shrieked, that fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The softed brooms, the doors open, they do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets. That fate and death do contend about them, whether they live or die.
There, what hope?
Alack, why fear they have awaked and 'tis not done? Oh, 'tis the attempt and not the deed that confounds us. Hark, I have laid their daggers ready. Could not miss them. If he had not resembled my father as he slept, I'd have done it. Oh, my husband.
I've done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did you not speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended.
I.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donald Wayne.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thing to say, a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder. They did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds cannot be thought of in these ways, or it will drive us mad.
I thought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's main course, chief nourisher, life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still I cry, sleep no more. Comes of murdered sleep, therefore
do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Come, get us some water, and I'll clear this filthy witness from your hands. Why have you brought the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Here, carry them and wipe the blood amongst the groom's face.
I'll go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Come again, I dare not.
Firm of purpose. I will take the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears the painted devil. If ye do bleed, I will gild the faces of the grooms withal. For it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? My hands are here. They pluck out my eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No. This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the blue one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. Oh, there is a knocking at the south entrance. Get thee to our chambers, and a little water will clear us of this deed. How easy 'tis then. Your constancy had left thee unattended. Hark, more knocking. Put on your bedclothes, lest occasion should call them seems to be watchers. Think not so much on these poorly thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking! I would thou couldst.
Here's a knocking indeed. Oh. If a man were porter of hell gate, we should have old turning the key. Oh, knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty, huh? Well, come in time. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh, have napkins now about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? I don't remember. Faith. He was a schemer that could swear in both the scales against either scale. Who committed treason enough for God's sake, but could not scheme in heaven. Oh, come in, schemer. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Faith. Here's an English tailor. Come hither for stealing out of a friend's hose. Oh, come here, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock, never a quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I'll tell it, pour it no further. My thoughts were letting some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. You know what I'm saying? Anon. I pray you, sir, remember to tip the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed that you do lie so late?
Please, sir, we were carousing till the second cock. And drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
And what three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir. Asleep, nose beaten, and urine. Lechery, sir. It provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire,
what takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be enemy with luxury. It makes him and it mars him. It sets him on, it takes him off. It persuades him and disheartens him. Makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, sir, tricks him into his sleep and giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe Drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir. In the very throat on me. But I requited him for his lie. And I think being too strong for him, though he did take up my legs sometimes, yet I need a ship to cast him. Bleh. Oh.
Is our master stirring? Our doctor has a wait. Here he comes. Good morning, noble sir.
Good morrow.
Is the king stirring, worthy thing?
Not yet.
He did command me to call time with him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble for you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I shall make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down. And as they say, lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death and prophesied with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, new hatched the woe of time. The obscure bird clamored to live all night. Some say the earth is feverish and did shake.
It was a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
What's the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple, and stole thence the life of the building.
What is you say, the life?
Mean you, his majesty?
Approach his chamber and destroy your sight with a new organ. Do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Murder and treason! Ring the alarm! Backbone down there! Malcolm! Awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself! Up! Up and see the great doom's image! Malcolm! Then will ask from your graves, rise up, and walk like sprites in countenance's harbor! Sound the alarm!
What is the business that this hideous trumpet calls to parlay the slippers of this house? Speak, speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, it is not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ears would murder as it fell. Well, Banquo! Banquo! Our royal master was murdered.
Whoa! Alas, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, breathe. Contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this moment there's nothing serious in immortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead, the wine of life is drawn, and the mere least is left this vault to brag of. What is amiss? You are, and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father was murdered.
Oh. By who?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were imbibed with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stood and were distracted. No man's life is safe in their presence.
Yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise? Amazed? Temperate and furious? Loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition my violent love outrun the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gold. Who could refrain? That had a heart to love, and in that heart, courage to make his love known.
Oh, help me, hands.
But too late. I weep hold our tongues, that most may claim this argument for ours.
What should be spoken here, where our fate hid in alcohol may rush and seize us. Let us away, our tears are not yet brewed.
Our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. When we have our naked frailties hit that suffering exposure, let us need to question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight against treasonous malice.
So do I, and I. Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well contented. What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy.
I would to England. Dwyer and I. Our separated fortune will keep us both the safer. Where we are, there are daggers, immense smiles, the near in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shafts that shot have not yet lighted. And our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore, to horse. Let us not be dainty of leave taking, but shift away. Swarm to that theft which steals itself, and there's no mercy left.
Scoring 10 I can remember well. Within the volume of which time I have seen hours dreadful, things strange. But this sword knight hath trifled for her knowings.
Thou seest the heavens as if troubled by man's act. By the clock is day, yet dark night strangles the traveling lamp. Is it night's predominance, or the day's shame that does entomb the world in darkness?
'Tis unnatural, much like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon, towering in her pride of place, was hawked at and killed by a mousing owl.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most terrible and strange, beauteous and swift, the apex of their race. Why, they could rise up, break from their paddocks, and act as if they were going to create war on mankind.
'Tis said, they hate each other.
They did, as my own eyes did see it. Ah, here comes Macbeth. Macbeth, how is the world?
Why, see you not?
Does it know who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth had slain.
But for what reason?
They were stubborn. Malcolm and Dunaway and the two king's sons are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Well, then that would mean the sovereignty would fall to Macbeth.
He has already been named and got his scum to be invested.
Where's the king's body?
Carried to the sacred storehouse of his predecessor and guarding of their bones.
Will you to Scum?
No, cousin. Out to Fife.
I will go thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu. Lest our old road sit easier than our new.
Farewell, old man.
God's benison go with you, and with those that would make good bad, friends or foes.
Thou hast it now, King, Cawdor, Glamis, all as the weird women promised. And yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be root and follower of many kings. If there come truth from them as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good, may not they also be the oracles laid upon me, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to which my duties are indissoluble tie forever knit.
Arriving this afternoon.
I, my good lord.
I should have also desired your good advice, which hath still been both grave and prosperous in this day's council, but will take tomorrow. As far you ride.
As far, my lord, as will take the time twixt now and supper. Go not the worse by better. It may have to be a borrow of night for a dark hour between.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our murderous friends are hidden in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel patricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But that's tomorrow. Therewithal we shall have cause of state, crave us jointly. Hie your horse. Adieu. So your turn tonight. Go Fleance with you.
Aye, my lord. Our time does call us upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time, alone. Well then, God be with you. Sirrah, word with you. Let's pretend those men are pleasure.
They do, my lord, without the castle gate.
Bring it before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. 'Tis none but he whose being I do fear. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with a lineal hand. No son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them the gracious Duncan have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them. And mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings, the seeds of Banquo, kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Now go to the door and stay there until you call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Well then, have you considered my speeches? Know that it was he, in the times past, which held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference. Passed in probation with you, how you were born in hand, how crossed the instruments who wrought with them, and all things else that to hath the soul, and to a notion craves, to say thus it Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so. And went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
I, in the catalog you offer men, there's hounds, greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, shuffs, water rugs, and demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dogs. The valued file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the supple, the housekeeper, the hunter, everyone according to the gift which bounteous nature hath in him closed. And so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business into your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off, grapples you to the heart and love of us, who wear our health but sickly in his life, which in his death were perfect.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my lie on any chance to mend it or be rid on't.
Both of you know Banquo is your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance, that every minute of his being thrusts at my nearest of life, and though I could, with heavy hand, sweep him from my sight and bid my will about you, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but will wail his fall, who I myself struck down. Thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our
Your
lives
spirits shine through you. Within this hour at the most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, the moment haunt, for it must be done tonight, and away from the palace. Always know that I require a clearness, and with him to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Leonce, his son that keeps him company, whose absence to me is no less material than that of his father, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll come to you straight by within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, but he returns again tonight.
Say to the king, I would attend to his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught had, all spent, when our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why keep you so alone? Sorriest to fancy your companions making? Using those thoughts which should indeed have died with those they think on? What is without remedy should be without regard. What is done is done.
We've scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, both the worlds suffer, ere we eat our meals in fear, and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. treason is done is worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice, domestic, nothing can touch him further.
Come on. Gentle, my lord. Sleep o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I. And so, I pray, be you. Let your remembrance abide to Banquo. Present him eminence, both with eye and tongue. Unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams and make our faces visitors to our hearts, disguising what they are.
Must let this be.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo in his flaunce lives?
Not eternal earthly lives have they?
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou Dugan, ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate's summons, the shard-born beetle, with his drowsy hums, hath rung night's yawning peal. There shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What shall be done?
Listen to the knowledge, dearest child, till thou applaud the deed. Come, silly night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day. With thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel, tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things by day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the laden traveler apace to gain the timely end. Near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses. Give us a light there. Go!
His horses go about almost a mile, but he does usually so all men do. From hence to the palace gate maketh their walk.
A light! A light! Tis he.
Stand to it.
There will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Wonderful. Fly, my man's revenge! Oh, knaves.
Oh, who did strike out the light? What's not the way?
There's but one down, the sun is fled.
We've lost best half of our affair.
Well, lights away. Say how much is time.
down. And first and last, the hearty welcome. Ourselves will play the humble host and mingle with society. Our hostess keeps her statement and does time. We will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir. To all our friends, for my heart speaks, they are welcome.
Here, here. Here, here.
See, they encounter thee with their heart's thanks. Both sides are given. Here, I'll sit in the midst. Be large in mirth. But none will drink in the measure. A measure at the table round. There's blood on my face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
It's just better be without than be within. She dispatched.
My lord, his throat is cut, that I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Cleops. If thou didst, thou art the non-hero.
Most royal sir, Fleance is escaped.
Comes my fitting in. I had else been perfect. Whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. And now I am kept. Crypt confined, bound into saucy doubts and peers. Banquo safe.
I, my good lord, safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenched gashes on his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies, the worm that's fled had nature that in time will venom breed. No chief for the present. But be gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
My royal lord, you left the cheer. The guests wonder is given with welcome. Feed is best at home. When a guest, sauce to meat is ceremony. Meaning is there without it.
Sweet remembered, sir. Now, good digestion, lay on appetite, and help on both.
Cheers.
Here. Here had we now our country's honor roofed, with the greatest person of our Banquo present, who may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence does lay the lie to his promise. Please, your highness, sit and let us enjoy your royal company.
The table's full.
Where's your place reserved, sir?
Where?
What is that move, your highness?
Which of you have done this?
Done what, sir?
Oh, canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is unwell.
No, keep your seat, please. My lord is often thus, and has been since his youth. Please do keep seat. It is a bit, well, it's just momentary. In a thought, he will be well again. If you note him, you will offend him and prolong his passion. So please, feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
And a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you say led you to Dugan. These claws and starts. It is the impostor to true fear. It is worthy of a woman's tale at a winter's fire authorized by her granddam. For shame itself. Why do you make such faces? All is done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there! Behold! Look! Well, how say you? Why, what care I? If thou canst not, speak too. If charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monument should be the laws of cants.
What in quite such unmanned folly?
I stand here, I saw him.
Fie, for shame.
Blood hath been shed here now. I, in the olden time, ere human statute purged the gentle wheel. Aye, and since 2 murders have been performed, too terrible for the ears, the time has been that when the man were dead, the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. And now they rise again with 20 mortal murders on their crowns and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my
Most worthy friends, I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, and
Yes.
I'll sit down. And give me some wine.
Yes.
Fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss, would he were here.
Yes.
To all in him we thirst, and all to all.
Our beautiful pledge.
Avaunt! And quit my sight! But dear Heidi, thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. There's no speculation in those eyes that thou dost glare with.
Good friends, consider this as a custom. Just attempts to spoil the pleasure of the occasion.
What man dare? I dare! Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear! The armed rhinoceros or the fearsome tiger! Take any shape with that, and my firm nerves will never tremble or be alive again. And dare me to the desert with thy sword! If trembling I in heaven, then protest me the baby of a girl! Hence, horrible shadow! Unreal mockery! Hence!
No.
So being gone, I am a man again. Pray do you sit still.
Yes. Yes. You have displaced the mirth and broke the good meeting in a most admired disorder.
Such things be. And overcome us like a summer's cloud with our special wonder. You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe. When now I think you can behold such sights, and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
Oh, speak not! He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, please, be gone. Stand not upon your going, just please go at once. Yes.
Good night, and better help attend His Majesty.
Yes, a kind good night to you all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Authors and understood relations have by entrails and crows and ravens brought forth the secrets of life. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
How sayest thou that Macbeth denies his presence at our great meeting?
Did thou call on him, sir?
Here, by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant feed. Will at times. I will tomorrow, many times I will, to the weird sisters. Nor shall they speak, for now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For mine own good all causes shall give way. I am in blood. Stepped in so far that should I wait no more, returning were as tedious as go. Strange things I have in head that will to hand, which must be acted ere they may be scanned.
Lord, black, nature's most precious season. Sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate feared at once hard use. We are yet but young, indeed. How did you dare?
How dare we, sister?
No more, your sister. I can just come, overtopping mine own voice with hers.
Why, how the heck did you look angrily?
Have I not reason?
Foul as you are, saucy and overbold.
How did you dare betray me back men in riddles and affairs of death. And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part, nor show the glory of our art. And what is worse, all you have done has been but for a wayward son, saucy and overbold, who, as others do, but for his own ends, not for you. But make amends now. We, in the morning, come hither. He will come to know his destiny. Your spells and your vessels provide, your charms and everything beside. Great business must be wrought ere noon. Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it ere it come to ground, and that, distilled by magic sleights, shall raise such artificial sprites, and that, by the strength of their illusion, shall draw him on to his he shall spurn fate, scorn death and bear. He hopes both wisdom, grace, and fear. And as you all know, security is mortal's chiefest enemy. Hark! I'm called. My spirit longs to flee this vessel. So I go, teaching me. She's left me quite.
Come, let's make haste, lest I can be back again.
The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Married, he was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walks too late, whom you may say Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. Who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donald Bain to kill their gracious father? Damn fact! How it did grieve Macbeth! Did he not straight and pie straight to two delinquent stare that where the slaves would drink and throw off sleep? And had he Duncan's son under his key, or that Fleance, son of Porter, back when they something for these murders done? What peace? For from broad words and cause he failed his presence at the tyrant's feast. I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan resides in the English court with the pious Edward. Thither Macduff has gone to seek his holy aid to raise up Northumberland and warlike Caithness. That with these, and with him above, to ratify the work, we can again return to our stations as they were. Well, this is so incensed the king that he attempts make some attempt at war.
Send him to Macduff?
He did, and with a "Sir, not I," the noble messenger turned his back on him.
And that one might advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a swift blessing may soon return to this, our suffering country under the coast.
I add my prayer to his.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined. The spirits crying to die,
Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone days and nights as 31. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boiled out first in the charmed pot.
double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble. Fill it of affinity, in the cauldron boil and bake. I am new toe of frog, wing of bat, tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind worm snake, lizard's leg and owlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon Tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, ball and gall of the raven salt sea shark, root of hemlock digging through the dark, liver of a cockatoo. Slip of hall and slip of blue, silvered in the moon's eclipse. Next, a workman's fingertips. There to add a tiger's chaldron for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double toilet trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble. Cool it with a baby's blood. Now the charm is firm and go.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open up, whoever knows. Oh.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you. By that which you profess, howe'er you come to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though the foamy waves confound and swallow navigation up, even till destruction sicken, answer me to what I ask you. Speak.
Demand. We'll answer.
Say, which thou rather hear from our mouths or from our masters?
Call him. Let me see him.
Pouring the sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 barrel, priestess sweating from the murders to the throw into the flame. Come high or low, thyself and all this deathly show.
Tell me that unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but speak thou.
Macbeth! 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 Beware, Macduff! Beware the thing of fight! Dismiss me! Enough!
Whatever thy heart for thy good caution, thanks. All this heart my fear right, but one word more.
You will not be commanded. Here is a second, more potent than the first.
Macbeth! Macbeth! Macbeth!
My 3 ears I hear thee.
Be mighty, bold, and resolute! Like the sword, the power of man! For none of woman war shall harm Macbeth!
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But yet, I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted bearded lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be iron metal proud, and take no care who shakes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish thee, until great Birnam Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Sweet Romans. Good. Rebellion's head rise never to the wood of Burnham rise. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if thou art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you.
Show.
Show.
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo down. Thy come to sear my eyeballs. Thy hair now, thy gold-bound brow is like the first. A third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? Start eyes. What, will the line stretch up to the crack of doom? Another yet. I'll see no more, and yet a fourth appears. Who bears a glass which shows me many more? And so I see the twofold balls and treble scepters carried. Horrible sight! Now I see 'tis true. For the blood-golden Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What is this so?
Sir, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazingly? Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites. Oh, to show the best of our delights. Pouch on the air to make a sound while we perform our antic round. That this great king may kindly say our duties in his welcome.
Where are they? Gone? Let this pernicious hour stand thy accursed in the calendar. Come in without there.
Would your graces will?
Saw you not the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Cursed be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horses. Who was came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord. That send word. Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England.
Aye, my lord.
Time. Thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose is ne'er overtook unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very first things of my heart shall be the first things of my hand. And even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that chase him in his line. No more boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
What have you done to make him fly this land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness.
You know not whether it was fear or wisdom.
Wisdom. To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion, his titles, all from whence he flew. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, would fight in her nest with her babes against the owl.
My dearest coz, you must school yourself. For your husband, he is wise, noble, judicious, and knows the fits of the season. I take my leave of you. It shall not be long ere I be back again, and things will have returned to normal, or else turned upward. Blessing on you, great love.
Sirrah. Your father is dead. What wilt thou do? How wilt thou live?
As birds do, mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what they get, I mean, and so would they. My father is not dead for all you say.
Oh, poor bird. Thou'st never feared the lime, nor the pit, nor the gin, nor the pitfall.
And why should I, mother? Poor birds they are not set for, and my father is not dead for all you are saying.
Yes, he is dead. And what wilt thou do?
Well, what wilt thou do for a husband?
Might I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy them to sell again.
How thou speakest. Thou speakest with all thy wit, and yet with enough wit for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
That he was.
And what is a traitor?
Why, Someone who swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone is a traitor who does so.
And what must happen to them?
They must be hanged.
And who should do the hanging?
Why, the honest men.
Well, then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enow to beat the honest man and hang up them.
Poor monkey. How wilt thou do for father?
If my father were dead, you would weep for him. And if that would not, that would mean that I should soon have another father.
Oh, how thou talkest proud.
Oh, but you, fair dame, I am not to you known, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here, hence with your little ones. Frightened us, methinks I am too savage to do worse to you or felt cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you, I dare by no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But then I remember I am in this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable, and to do good sometime accounts a dangerous folly. What faces are these?
Where is your husband?
Someplace, I hope thou knowest, never find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, those slack-haired villains.
What, you egg?
Young fry of treachery.
He has killed me, mother. Run away, I'm free.
Be not stingy with your speech, how goes it?
When I came to despair the news of my most heavenly born, there was a rumor out that there were many stout men in Scotland awaiting me. Your eye in Scotland could raise soldiers, could make the women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good Caithness and 10,000 men. An older and a better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Would that I had such good news. But what I should say should be shouted out into the desert where it can latch no ear.
Well, what concern they? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
Well, no man is proof, but the primary weight falls upon you.
If it be mine, keep it not from me, quickly let me have it.
Forgive my tongue with your ears, for they are about to hear the most heavy sound that they have ever heard.
Huh. I guess at it.
Your castle was surprised. Your wife, all your babes, all were slaughtered. And the story goes that they were looking for you as well.
Heaven. Macbeth, now pull your hat upon your brows. Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers, the oath frog barge and bids it break.
My children too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed soon.
I have said,
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? All! Oh, how kite. All! What? All my pretty chickens in their time in one fell swoop.
Disputed like a man!
I shall do so! I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things for that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Oh, sinful Macbeth! They were all shut for thee! Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine, fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
He is the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I can play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue. But gentle heaven, cut short all intermission. Front to front bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my club's length, set him. Should he escape, heaven forgive him too.
His tune goes madly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive with cheer, Dugan. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have two nights watched with you and can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
When the king had left into the fields, I've seen her rise from her bed, throw upon her nightgown, unlock the closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, and seal it up. All this while I'm fast asleep.
A great perturbation in nature. To receive at once the benefits of sleep and do the effects of watching. Now, in this slumbering agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Well, neither to you nor to anybody. All is confirmed. Tell you, this is her very guise. Thus, seem awake, but in a most fast sleep.
Wherefore has she that light?
Why, she has that with her continuously. 'Tis her command.
You see her eyes are open.
But their sense is shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
I've seen her do this, seem to thus wash her hands for over a quarter of an hour.
Yet, here is a spot.
Before she speaks, I will write down what she says to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Oh, damn spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. 5, Lord, 5. A soldier and feared? What need we fear, who knows it, when none can call our power to account? But who would have thought the old man would have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The thing of life had a wife. Where is she now? What? Will these hands ne'er be clean? No more
You mar all with this starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
You've heard what you should not, I'm sure of it. Heaven knows what she has known.
Ugh, here's the smell of the blood still. Ugh, all the perfume in Arabia will not sweeten these little hands. Ugh! Ugh!
What a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not in my bosom keep my heart in how she does.
Well. This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep who have died holily in their beds.
God help you, sir.
Wash your hands. Put on your night clothes. Look not so pale. I tell you again, Banquo is buried. He cannot come out one's grave.
Even so.
To bed. To bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come, give me your hand. What is done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed, to bed, to bed, to bed, to bed.
Foul whisperings are wrong. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. Why need she the divine have the position? Oh God. God help us all.
God pray thee, sir.
Look after her. Remove from her all means of annoyance and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has will amaze my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Caithness, and the good Macbeth. Revenge is burning them, for their dear causes would, to the bleeding and the grim alarm, excite the mortified man.
Near Burnham Wood shall we meet them? That way are they coming.
I have a file of all the gentry. There is Caithness' son, and many unbrought who said even now protest their first man.
We should find out what does the tyrant, for he makes his way somewhere, I believe, near Burnham Wood, from what I've heard.
Well, now I know that he feels his secret murder sticking to his hands. Now minutely revolt unbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only a command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him like the giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief.
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there?
Or so much as it needs to do the sovereign flower and drown the weeds. Make your march to Burnham.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham Wood removed to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences had pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall ever have power upon thee. Then fly, false things, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee, black thou cream-faced loon. Where got'st thou that goose look?
There are 10,000
Geese, villain,
soldiers, sir.
go prick thy face and overread thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers, Patch? Death of thy soul, those livid cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers, Wayface?
The English wars so please you.
Face hence. C10! Sick at heart when I behold. Seated, I say! This push will cheer me ever or deceive me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life is fallen into the sere, the yellow leaf. That which should accompany old age is honor, love, obedience, troops of friends I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses, not loud, but deep. Mouth honor, breath, which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Seated!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed that has been reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Stir the country round. Send out more horses. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me my armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Raise up the ridden troubles of the brain, and with some sweet oblivious antidote, cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart.
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dog. I'll none it. Come, put mine armor on. Seaton, send out. Doctor, the things fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch! If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo which should applaud again. Take it off, I say! What rhubarb, senna, or what purgative drug would scour these English hence? Hearest thou of them?
Aye, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death in vain, till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand, the chambers will be safe.
We doubted nothing.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery air a report of us.
It shall be done! We learn no other than the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane. There he will endure us setting down before him.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt. And none serve with him but constrained things, whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that with due decision will let us know what we shall say we have and what we owe.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come. Our castle's strength shall laugh the siege to scorn. Here, let them lie till famine and ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What is that noise?
It is the cry of women.
I almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal tree's rouse and stir as life were in it. I have slept full with horrors. Direness, once familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. All our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Ouch. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard from no more. It was a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy words, thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that what I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham and methought the wood began to move.
Liar and knave!
Let me endure their wrath if it be not so, but within this 3 miles you may see it coming. I say a looping grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. If thy story be sooth, I care not if thou dost as much for me. I pull in resolution, and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not, till Burnham wood do come to Dunsinane, and now would come towards Dunsinane. Arm and out! If this which he avouches does appear, there is nor flying hence, nor tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm! Blow wind! Come rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back!
Now near enough. these screens throw down and show like those you are. You were the uncle. Shall, with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon us what else remains to do, according to our word.
Oh, fare you well. Do we but find a tyrant's power tonight? Let us be beaten if we cannot fight!
Make all of our trumpets speak! Give them all breath! Those clamorous harbingers of blood and death! They've tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but barreling I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear or none.
What is thy name?
Don't be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou call thyself a harder name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself cannot pronounce a title more hateful to my ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest, thou award tyrant. With my sword, I will prove the lie thou speakest. Ha! 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 Ah!
Thou was born of woman, that swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by a man that's of a woman born. That was noises! Tyrant, show thy face!
There we go.
If thou be slain with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still.
I cannot strike with wretched courage whose arms are hired to bear their saves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my club with an unbattered edge I sheath again undeeded. Speed here by this great clatter, one of greater note seems brooded. Let me find him fortune, and more I beg not.
This way, my lord. The castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war, and the day itself almost professes yours. Little is to do.
We've met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die upon mine old sword, whilst I see lives the gashes do better upon them? Turn, hellhound, turn! Of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already. I have no words. My voice is in my club. Thou bloodier villain that turns can get thee out! Ah! Thou losest labor, as easy as thou the entrenchant air with thy keen club impress as make me bleed. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born. Then despair thy charm, let the angel whom thou hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untidily wrecked. Curse be the tongue that tells me so, for it hath come my better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believed, and palter with us in a double sense, and break the word of promise to our ear, and break it out! No, not
as our rarer monsters are, painted on the pole, and underwrit, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield. To kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse? Though Burnham forced to come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed, being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and dare be him that first cries, hold! Enough!
Would the friends we missed were safe arrived.
Some must go off, and yet by these I see so day of great as this is cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing. And here, your noble son!
He has paid a soldier's debt. He lived to be a man, but then died like a man.
And he is dead?
Aye, and carried off. Your sorrow cannot be measured by his worth, for then it hath no end.
Had he his hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
God's soldier be he. If I had as many sons as I have hairs, I would not wish thee to a fair death. And so is the hope.
It's worth more sorrow than that Miles spent first.
He's worth no more than they say he parted well and paid his score. Here's newer comfort.
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold, where stands ye cursor's head. The time is free. I see thee compass with thy kingdom's pearl, and make my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire to hear aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves, and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, reducing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who has just thought myself in violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us by the grace of grace, we will perform and measure time and place. So thanks to all at once and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned and scum.